Welcome back to Hot Atlanta. I'm David Fink alongside Martin Mulkerns. Martin, we just witnessed one of the biggest upsets in the history of the Race for 8 Tour. Luis Cordova taking down world champion Race for 8 #1 Killian Carroll. Now we're going to see who's going to play Luis Cordova in the final. Sean Lenning, who's ranked #2, playing amazing ball here. I know you played him in the first round, unlucky for you. Taking on Daniel Cordova, who hasn't looked that great, but he's done what he needed to do, winning 3 close games and 1 blowout game en route to this semifinal. Now, Daniel Cordova and Sean played on this court in April in the Southeast Regional Championships. Daniel winning that match.
I'm just waiting for the thumbs up.
In a tiebreaker.
The amazing thing is, obviously, as you said, we've just witnessed an amazing match. Killian and Luis.
Yeah.
It looked, Luis played phenomenal game 1. Killian was kind of hanging in there, but we thought possibly it could go either way for a moment or two at maybe 13-11 or so in the first game. Luis finished it out 9-4 in the second game. Well, 4-0. Then next thing 9-4. You're definitely thinking Killian's going to force a tiebreaker here. I know we said he was working hard for points, but you could never have thought that 11 straight points would go Luis's way.
Okay.
But it has.
Well, it's interesting, Martin, because you haven't traveled to the U.S. much, yet you've played each of these guys at least 4 times, each. You've split with Sean Lenning 2-2, and Daniel Cordova you beat 3 times in a row in the Collegiate Nationals, then you lost to him in the last Collegiate Nationals.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen,
so
you
know both these guys' games very well.
Match of the night. Serving will be our third
I see Sean as a lot more dangerous. I think he can make shots a lot easier. Daniel has a great serve, great heart. I think he'll fight hard. I think if Sean plays like he has played, we'll judge him even on today's performance, what he did 2 hours ago. Like Vic Perez was struggling to.
Right.
I mean, I don't think Vic even got a chance to set his feet a handful of times in the whole game.
Right.
And I mean, if he can force Daniel to do something similar, and he seems to be in the mindset where he's going to do that.
Well, the mindset is great, but can you execute it? Because Daniel is the kind of guy that if you give him an inch, if you let him into the match, he's going to really make you work because he can run down everything. He's very fit. And that would be the big concern for Sean Lenning. Can he?
And I think another positive for Daniel is, I don't know will you agree with this, is that Luis is just after winning. I think this is the first Pro Shop final. He's on his home court as well.
Right.
Luis is after beating the world #1. You know, he's now playing Sean, who he's beaten before. They have a chance. There's no pressure on him. You know, Sean is the #2 ranked player, is expected to win.
Point.
You know, I think Daniel can go in there and play, and probably has a chance to make history, that they'd be, as you said, definitely on the Race for 8 Tour, the first 2 brothers to play, but I'd nearly guess ever.
Yeah, it would be.
I think possibly in Pro Handball, you have 2 brothers play a Pro final.
And Daniel's off to a great start here. Sean Lenning with that flat rollout with his left hand on the return of serve, but Daniel
3 rallies and 3 kills.
Yeah. And this is what Daniel is going to want to do, is push Sean back, test that conditioning.
That was a mishit by Sean.
And already you're seeing something that Sean's first 2 opponents weren't able to do, which is kind of take it to him to some degree. Stepping into the ball and hitting some kills.
The score has changed here. I don't know. I didn't think Sean scored a point, but 2-0. Well, I was actually 2-0 up against Sean as well, but then we burst the 3rd ball, I think, at that point, and it started changing.
3-0.
But this is what Daniel would have wanted, a quick start.
Well, and the way he's done it, he's just flushing every shot right now. Just hitting it as well as he can possibly hit it. I think a lot of times you see some of the best handball in the semifinals because the guys have they've warmed up early in the day. So they're in the groove, and they've got a feel for the ball. That was an amazing tomahawk kill. He gave me a look, but I see that shot you know, 5 or 6 times a match watching Sean Lenning. It's just amazing.
Well, I think he hit it twice against Vic, and that's his first there. There's one at 2-0 against Vic Perez, which possibly will be as good a shot as you'll see all season.
A little bit of a push off there. Look at Daniel driving.
But Daniel's playing very aggressive.
Oh,
Point.
gets a good break there, but Sean Lenning having to really earn points here, and we didn't see that in the first 2 rounds, where he was just sort of steamrolling.
It's probably an
Short.
It's an interesting dynamic
Second
as well.
serve.
The fact that, you know, he's so friendly with the Cordovas. I don't know
Point.
how he is mentally, possibly with playing me and Vic Perez, he'd be in a different place. Probably doesn't,
2-3.
you know, although we're friendly with him and we know him well, I think he's very close with the Cordovas. I don't know where his mind will be in this game.
That's an interesting
3-2.
psychological element to this match.
Short.
I assume
Second serve.
I assume he'll put that aside and go in and just play.
Well, Sean could really spoil the apple cart here for the home crowd, because they'd love nothing more than to see.
But he's got his hands on his hips already. I think he's, you know, he has, as you said, he's had to work hard even to get into where he is.
He's taking a couple extra seconds there. And that's not the kind of dominating serve we saw Sean hitting in this tournament.
2-3. Short. Second serve.
The other thing, you know, that can happen too is if you're Daniel, you know, that you're kind of so pumped after Luis winning that could go into overdrive here early on, but yet you have to maintain that for 2 games.
Right.
And possibly a third. You know, I think he needs to be careful too that he doesn't
3-3.
blow out early, if that makes sense.
Short.
These guys last played on the Race Freight Tour in Las Vegas in February,
Second serve.
where Daniel had a
obviously
nice
won.
first game lead, and Sean just came back and erased that and cruised in game 2.
Replay.
There's been numerous replays already.
3-3. Short.
You see Sean coming up
Second
2 or 3
serve.
feet short on these serves.
Side out. Second serve.
A lot of just straight shooting in front of each other there.
Point.
Daniel's playing very well here. Feels like he's outplaying Sean, but
4-3.
he only leads 4-3.
Sean seems to be lacking a bit of the energy
Point.
or
Yeah, I agree.
that kind of spring in his step or in his swing, whatever way you want to put it, that we were seeing in the earlier rounds.
Both of that.
5-3.
Not a great first step he has right now. And you see it there. That was a great serve, but Sean not really quick out of the blocks there.
6-3.
That's a great
serve by
This
Daniel.
is a tricky shot here.
Oh.
Point.
Would you call that like a drop shot? That's like a Federer, you know, just
well, I
cutting
never
under
ever hit that shot, really. I just, if you ever see that shot coming, I'm going to hit it hard.
Okay.
7-3.
I don't even know if he could swing hard there because the front wall would have been in the way of his follow-through.
I'd figure some way out.
I like to see people let it hit the front wall again. That's a real
Shorty
shot.
actually did that earlier.
Yeah. That's a shot we practice in Tucson. That's about the only thing we work on.
This is a super start for Daniel. I think that was a bit casual. He had a chance there.
Point.
I think Sean is like out on his feet.
8-3.
Yeah, well, you know, you'd think Sean would have plenty of energy after winning his first 2 matches in a combined 38 minutes.
Side out.
They weren't quite that short now.
Well, I'm just going by what
3-8.
Jean Casimoto-Kastner tells me. She's our statistician. I don't argue with her. Do you want to argue with her?
No, I think that was the
Second
length of the time of the last game.
Well, I'm just reading here with my notes, and that's what it says.
I think you were warming up for that. But surely he did have two. He did have 2 quick games. We can split hairs on the minutes, but
No. You can split hairs with Jean. I won't. She walked over personally and handed me that note, and you saw that.
Second serve.
She's only done that one other time.
Side
For some
out.
reason, she wanted me to know that you were 2-7 on the race going into yesterday's match. I didn't care.
3-8.
oh no, you told me that at the Worlds. You wanted me to know that.
Well, I had forgotten, but
Side
she
out.
wanted to remind me. So that was on her.
Although at most of those tournaments, the
8-3.
majority I've got fantastic draws. I mean,
Yeah.
couldn't be better.
Side out.
Like I guess when you play Mondo, when you play Dave Chapman and you
3-8.
in kind of your qualifier final and the round of 16, or if you play Mondo and Moreno when he's #1 and first round, I guess you know that's ideal. Like, and then you don't play for 2 years and you get Sean in the first round,
Yeah.
and he plays
Oh my
unbelievable.
gosh.
Side out.
And that's the ultimate rub of the green there for Daniel, who hits a splat kill falling backwards. Sidewall, front wall with Sean 5 feet from the
8-3.
wall. He still couldn't pick it up.
Just from watching this game so far, I actually can see Daniel winning this in 2
Second
straight.
serve.
Just from what I'm seeing so
Well,
far, I just
Yes.
it was 3-3. It's now 8-3.
But even when it was 3-3, you
Side
felt
out.
like Daniel was
Was
sort
in
of
control.
in control.
Yeah. Now, as we've seen in the other games, you can be 9-4 up and things can change.
3-8.
But
Right.
we haven't seen anything so far to indicate that
Replay.
this is going to end. But this is about the 4th time Sean's been hit.
Very strange. Is Sean moving back too much, do you think, Martin?
I don't think so. I think
Just coincidence.
3-8. Short.
he just hasn't located that serve, which he did have in the other
Second
rounds.
serve. Point. Four, 8. Point.
Now Sean Lenning with 2 quick points.
5, 8. Short.
Now, when they played in Las Vegas in February, Martin,
Second
Daniel
serve.
led 11-5, lost 15-11, 15-5.
Point.
Sean's doing a bit more now of what he was doing earlier, hitting hard. Daniel spoons it up and then kill. That's kind of what we've seen
6, 8.
so far this weekend from him. Good serve, fly kill. Oh, Daniel thought he had it. Worked out.
8, 6. Thank you, Sean. Point.
2 bouncing on that back wall.
I thought that ball was broken also, as did Sean. What would be interesting if
9, 6.
Daniel served an ace, Sean flipped it back off the second bounce, and Daniel hit the next shot, and that's when
Short.
it broke. And now it is broken, I believe.
I called it short. He's appealing. Both agree. Second serve.
Don't think there was any question of it being broke.
Apparently not.
Wow. Well,
Point.
I think we've spoken about rub of the green. I think when that starts happening, you should just keep going.
Never even seen Daniel attempt that shot. Here's a setup for Daniel.
Point.
Daniel's really become more of an offensive player in the last couple of years. Wow.
Point.
And now,
again, I'd argue here, and well, we're actually seeing the timeout. I was just going to say that I think you can't let someone do 3 flat kills in a row. One of them probably one of the best shots of the weekend, and not even try break the momentum. That's, you know, what do they have? Two 60-second timeouts, 1 30-second timeout.
Yeah.
None taken so far.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like it was, you know, to me you could have taken at least one at this point. Probably going in for your second now at this stage. If this is the pattern in the game that would have unfolded.
Talk a lot about home field advantage in sports. I don't know how it is in hurling and football in Ireland, but
similar.
Yeah, okay. Well, right now, the Cordovas look very much at home.
We actually, in hurling this year, they had a new format where you had some home games kind of in this round-robin series before to qualify for the national championship for the All-Ireland series. There was like 2 pools of 5, and you played your 4 games. But I think it was like 85% of the time the home team, if it wasn't even more, it was I think it was nearly every game the home team won this year. I would wonder about Sean's kind of lead up to this game, just what I'm saying, like so friendly with the Cordovas. He obviously watched all of Luis's game, as interesting as that was and as friendly as he is with them. I feel like you should be away nearly from that. You should be coming in here completely. I know that's kind of the way the tournaments are going, but I think
sort of clear his mind.
I think I would have been away, like out of the courts. You probably would have came in maybe 10 minutes before the end, or while you're kind of warmed up yourself. But I think now I suppose you could argue Daniel did the same thing, but I think it's.
Point.
And that's 2 consecutive dives for Sean Lenning. He doesn't get to either ball.
(13-7).
13-7. Good serve. I think that's that reverse you're talking about. And does it again.
Point.
It's a reverse pass.
Second timeout.
It's calling another timeout.
Sean looks extremely tired right now. Daniel is playing about as well as I've seen him play on the race tour. He made the finals last year in New York, where he was exceptional. Played tremendous ball there. Took out Mondo Ortiz in the quarterfinals, and then Vic Perez in the semifinals before losing to Killian Carroll, but very much looks to be in that kind of form right now. Just very clean ball striking, very precise kills. And Martin, you know, as a top player yourself, when you're just hitting that ball flush, it gives you so much confidence. And I have not seen Daniel miss-hit many balls at all.
No, this game he's no unforced errors, I would say, and there's none of them coming to mind.
14-7.
Chance here to take the first game.
That's an incredible shot there from Sean. I mean, I think if you're Daniel, you have to say, you're going to have to beat me with that shot. 38 feet.
Yeah.
Daniel goes for the same shot with his left and comes up short.
Off balance.
Right.
I just wonder, when you see the way Sean is, could you play like a pass shot there? It looks like Sean is tired. Make him play the few extra shots. Wait for a better opportunity.
Point.
You know, next thing it's 9-14.
Now Daniel's going to inspect the ball, and it's, I think, broken. And that's one of those bad breaks for Sean.
You got to replay that.
Oh. I'd argue there's no way he's getting that. It obviously breaks when it hits the wall, so it's a flat kill.
But what if it broke on the serve?
We didn't hear it break on the serve, did we? You know, that's, no one looked up or was looking for a decision on the sound of it at the serve or the way it bounced.
No, I've never seen
I
that
think that
call
is
made.
it's bad luck.
Replay.
No, it always is a replay, but I just wonder.
Short. Second serve.
Revolving door. Everything's working. Shoulder high, overhand, somewhat overhand back wall.
14-8.
There it is.
Point. First game.
15-8. And looks like it's probably difficult to see where the comeback would come from based on that.
Sean scored a couple of points there after taking a timeout at 14. Actually, just 1 point because the other point was taken off the board, but not much positive for Sean Lenning there. It was 3-all.
Finished 14-8, 15-8. I suppose we have to give a lot of credit to Daniel and how well he's played in that first game. Great serves. Every kill he's went for has come off. He hit that overhand spike. You know, I think that's, in fairness to Sean too, probably when someone's actually doing that, which he was doing in the earlier rounds. Like when someone hits an overhand spike rollout into the left, then there's an overhand shoulder high kill off the back wall, that rolls as well.
Well, Martin, let's go to an interview with Daniel Cordova before this match and talk about what he thought was going to happen. And let's see if what he thought was going to happen actually did happen in that first game.
We're talking it up with Daniel Cordova before your semifinal match, taking on Sean Lenning, your friendship bracelet partner there. What is it going to be like walking into the semifinals against him?
Oh, it's like the bracelet is there, but it's basically outside of the court. You know, like we're not. We kind of forget we're still friends and we're still honest in there, but we're just opponents in the court. So we just play like we would play anyone else. Yeah.
He beat the Irishman Martin McCurns yesterday. Vic Perez. What do you know he's going to bring that semifinals that you have to be able to beat?
He's feeling good and he likes this ball because it's really quick. And he's just, I mean, when he's in his zone, it's really hard to get him out. So I'm just going to have to try to, just play my game. I have to shoot it. If I don't take advantage of my setups, it's going to be really hard to beat him because he gets to everything. He's really big, and it looks like he's not very fast, but he's explosive, and he's got really good reflexes. So it's going to be a fun match no matter what.
Talk about his weaknesses. What do you have to tap into?
I can't tap into that. My brother can do it a little more. Like his mental game sometimes isn't there. He can lose focus really easy. My brother likes to pick on him. I don't know. I don't try to do that. I don't know why. I could, but it's just not part of my game. What else would be his weakness?
How does he do against your hop serve?
He does pretty well, but I'm going to get him tomorrow or later today.
Good luck.
Thank you.
That was very, I can't think of the right word, Martin. I wish I could, but he predicted it, and it came true. He got him with that hop serve, and that last point of the first game was an amazing hop serve ace, and he also had 3 other aces in that first game. Just seemed like Daniel did everything right in that first game.
I'm stuck for words as well. I don't know. I don't know what more we can say about it. I think it was one-way traffic there. Sean really struggling to get points. I don't know. Daniel just went on the offense, like what Sean's done against everyone else, and it's working. You know, and Sean, where he was probably able to set his feet in the other games because he was hitting so hard and he was getting the returns he wanted. Now it's the reverse. Daniel's actually making him do what he's been doing to the other people.
Well, this is what we talked about yesterday, Martin. After your match with Sean, you said, you know, what can you do? And I said, you have to do that to him.
Yeah.
And that's what Daniel's doing to him.
Yeah, and I suppose, you know, that was the unfortunate thing for me. I had to go in there and experience that, and Daniel's probably fair play to him. He's got to see what Sean's done against the other players, and he's been able to adapt or, you know, just change his mindset. What am I going to do here to make sure that doesn't happen to me? And then with all credit to him, he's doing very well.
Daniel Cordova puts on the same gloves that he wears in the first game in the second game, which I always found interesting that both he and Luis do that.
Well, I do that as well.
Oh, okay.
Let's go. Time in. Time in.
I wear a fresh pair of gloves for every game.
Sometimes you feel like if they're not too wet, you're like they're kind of warm. But then I think it's nice sometimes to put on a new pair as well. Just that you've that bit of extra grip on it, I
Sean
think.
will be serving and Dan will be receiving.
But I guess he's got good luck with them gloves so far, so why change the winning formula?
Okay, play ball, 0-0. Short, second serve.
Let's see if Sean gets that pep in the step, and that's not a good serve to start. That's a nice finish. Hard shot there to run, stop on a dime,
1-0.
and stroke that one 1 inch high. This is a very high quality rally.
Side out.
Good shots by both players.
Really good shots. Excellent. Daniel and Luis fly killing more than any two players in this event.
Short. Second serve.
Ouch. You would know about that, I can tell you that. With that ball, that would hurt.
0-1.
Sometimes when you're so focused, so into the match, you don't even feel that. Or at least not like you would in a practice game, when you definitely feel it. Oh, Daniel. One of the few errors he's made in this match.
Well dug out by Sean to get that off the back wall, but it was
1-0.
definitely an easy setup for Daniel. Should have finished it. And instead of being 1-1, it's 2-0.
2-0. Side out. 0-2. Side out. 2-0. Short. Second serve. Short.
There's a double fault for Sean Lenning. After a great left punch fist kill.
0-2.
Comes back with that double fault.
But although it's 2-0, Dave, I still feel Sean hasn't really got into any groove. Or
Well, it's very similar to Killian, who just could not win any easy points.
like he's just given up on that. Well, I know it was a big setup, but exactly what you're saying. They just don't seem to be flowing like they were in the earlier rounds, you know.
Last season, Daniel Cordova averaged 7 kills per game to 15. In that first game, Martin, 14 kill shots. So nearly doubling, or actually doubling his average. Great hustle there from Sean.
But great pick from Daniel. Sean's appealing this serve. Let's see.
2-2.
Sean Lenning averaging 9 kills per game last season. In the first game, he had just 5.
2-2. Short. Second serve.
That was
Point.
a crazy bounce off the front wall.
I'm not surprised.
3-2.
Nice touch. Daniel is chasing down everything. Sean's hand up. He's appealing something.
Side out.
No. See, I think if that was against someone else, he'd be looking for something.
Oh, what kind of shot was that, Mark?
Side out.
Sean just does one of those incredible shots he can do, but he does seem to be fatigued here.
3-2.
This is where Daniel broke away in that first game.
Three, two. Short. Second serve. Side out.
Daniel is able to hug the wall. That's what made him the leading pass shot artist of the season last year.
Side out.
Good kill by Sean. Serve a little bit too high by Daniel. Although Sean seems to be struggling, he's still 3-2 up.
Short.
But he's laboring to get
serve.
those 3 points.
Big time. And when you consider that he needs
Point.
18 points to win this game match.
4-2.
Or sorry, what am I talking about? I'm talking 27 points.
That's right.
Point.
It's
5-2.
Now
it looks
for
like
the
that's going to be a massive uphill
Point.
battle, but he needs more of that. You know, those quick points, ace
timeout.
serves.
We'll resume at 6-2.
But he's gasping there.
This is the first time, though, that we've seen Sean Lenning actually get on a roll with a serve and a first strike. That was 2 aces and 1 great serve and a kill to take him from 3 to 6. So he has to be feeling good about that.
Absolutely.
What's that? They were cracked not a long time ago. Just
We're going to go to
I think
Kara
yesterday,
Mack, who's
and they tried
courtside.
to rub
Kara.
the skin off 'em.
Courtside here with Luis Cordova. How much momentum do you think it gave your brother to seeing you win this last match?
I don't know. It seems like he came out really hitting it well, so hopefully it inspired them. Sean was pretty happy too, so I guess it carried over more with my brother.
Look at you making everyone happy right in your home court.
Yep.
But right now, what would you be telling your brother as far as what he needs to do against Lenning?
Just keep up the pace because Sean is getting tired, so he needs to play hard, get everything back, make his shots, and make Sean work for every point.
What was he doing in that first game that made him pull it off?
He was playing real well, serving well, doing first strike kills. He was just doing I don't see anything he did wrong.
So just to keep it up, thank you, Luis.
Thanks.
Back to you.
Thanks, Kara. The
All right, time is
Cordovas
in.
are the most interviewed people in the
6-2.
history of the race for 8. They average, between the two of them, 6 courtside interviews per event. And that doesn't include the up-close segments that I know you like so much, Martin. Also, handball trivia, they take part in that.
Oh,
So they're,
I thought you were fairly
6-2.
interviewed yourself by the looks of things today. I don't. I'd say you went beyond 6 anyway.
Side out.
I don't get too many courtside interviews, though. I'm talking courtside only
Oh,
at this moment.
2-6.
I know that you follow the instructionals that I
Short.
put out a lot, Martin, but I'm talking about the actual
Second serve.
mid-match timeout courtside chats.
well,
Wow.
Oh,
Point.
That's amazing. Daniel
that's the
Cordova
kind of things you need to happen.
lunging in. How does he have the control on that underhand paddle?
3,
Flipping it to the right
6.
Well,
corner.
I think it just sums up how this game is going. Like the rally before that, Sean tried to do the same thing, just
Short.
came up short. Daniel runs in and it rolls out. I think those balls tend to
Second
roll
serve.
out when things are going well for you. You know.
Point.
Sean with a fist off the back wall, hit the roof but split on the front wall. Point for Daniel.
4, 6.
Good shot.
Side out.
But these two would have met a few weeks ago, Dave, in the 3-wall nationals final as well.
6, 4.
That was the semifinals.
Oh,
What a shot.
Side out.
And
oh, I thought it might have been the final.
I think
no?
you're right. Yeah. It was Daniel defeating Dane Statkowski to go to
4,
the final. And
6.
Sean Lenning really dominating that match. 21-2 in the second game.
Short. Second serve. Point.
Another great kill by Daniel. It looks like, although he's one shot
5,
behind, it might be
6.
strange to say, but it looks like he's going to do it here.
Oh, terrible return there from Sean.
There's another flat kill.
Point.
And Martin, talk technically about why that happened. Sean Lenning has a back wall set up there, and he's going for
6,
1 inch high, and he
6.
hits it 15 feet high on the front wall. How does that happen? And then there he
Side
again
out.
goes for an inch high and does hit it an inch high.
Well, Sean's
6,
still going for
6.
them, which I think he needs to, but I think it comes back, a lot of it comes back to what you're saying of, I think he physically looks very tired.
Side out.
And I think sometimes then when you're going for that shot,
6.
nearly anything
6.
could happen.
Okay.
It could roll or
Okay, I got it.
Short.
I think the focus is kind of gone
Yeah.
a little bit. Maybe the eye comes
Second
off it.
serve.
Maybe you're looking for the result before it even happens.
Okay.
I suppose numerous things could happen, but
Yeah. No, I'm
Point.
glad I asked because I agree with everything that you said there. I know that
7, 6.
you really understand the technical aspects of the game.
Point.
well, everything's going Daniel's way. He's
Timeout.
got 8 serves,
Well, he
3 or
promised
4 kills.
Yeah, he promised in the pregame interview that he was going to get him with
We'll
the hop
resume
serve, and
at
he's
8-6.
getting them over and over with that hop serve.
That was just a beautiful reverse. I think it wouldn't matter who was standing there. He'd probably get them with that.
Oh, yeah. He could tell you that he was going to hit it there, and you still probably couldn't return it. And I do have to make a correction. I said that it was Daniel Cordova who beat Nash at the Worlds, but it was Nash that beat Daniel Cordova 11-7 before Nash went to lose to Killian.
That was a mammoth game. I thought from watching it, I was like, it doesn't matter who wins because
Even though they had the whole day to rest.
no, I think it was a
Just too
2.5
much?
hour match.
Okay.
Then you're going playing the
Time
fittest
in.
guy in
8,
it. He's
6.
going to keep running all day if you want him to.
Short.
You know, I think you need to
called
be
the serve
fresher than
short.
that going in.
I saw that serve good.
Matt. I called the serve short. He's appealing. Both agree. Second serve.
But it was 6-2. It's now 8-6.
Point.
And as nothing is going right.
No.
9, 6. Side out.
That's a beautiful shot there from
6,
Sean. He's going to
9.
need a lot more of that, Martin.
I actually thought that was short.
Point.
No call.
7, 9. Short. Second serve.
It's funny. It just has this feel like it's nearly like it's a foregone conclusion. It feels like that there's no way that.
I mean, you don't hold back.
No, but what I'm saying is it feels like Daniel's just going to win this game.
Yeah.
Yet when you look at the scoreboard,
Right.
you're like, Sean's right in it.
9, 7.
Score is 9-7. As far as critical moments in the match go, this is it.
Point.
But what can you do with your Sean? That's a pretty good return. He drills it right at sort of Daniel's
10,
feet,
7.
and Daniel rocks back and hits a left corner kill with his left hand. Now an ace serve. So 2 straight swings for Daniel result in 2 points. That's good
11,
efficiency
7.
right there.
Oh, he's playing very well. I just feel it's somewhat resembling the last game, like where nothing. Oh.
Side out.
Thought he might have rolled his ankle or something there.
That was a strange.
I think he might have clipped his own foot or something.
Possibly. And that was a big setup for Daniel, who was cruising there. That would have been a 12th point if he wouldn't have slipped. This is a smart shot here, pushing Sean back. Now he's got this ball here, and yeah.
I think he sees Sean kind of coming, possibly takes his eye off it a little bit.
You know, these courts are, the
7,
floors are kind of
11.
sticky. And I mean, in a good way, because you always want good traction, but my feet got caught a bunch of times today, and I actually fell down as well.
Point. 8-11. Short.
Could you visualize a comeback here?
I could, yeah. I would never put it past Sean. He came back
Second
from 9-0 against Killian in a tiebreaker. I think a lot of it's going to be up to Daniel, because if he keeps executing,
Point.
it's going to be hard for Sean.
You asked the question a few minutes ago, like that was a pretty good return, or
9,
even Daniel's
11.
shot there. I know you kind of still have to go for it, but like unless you flat kill a ball when the other guys stand in front of you, you know,
Side
going
out.
for a kill, it's really risky. Now they have been coming off.
11,
Yeah.
9. Short. Second serve.
All he do is hop down the middle. No.
Point.
Those
Really?
shoulder high kills are just, they're coming off all day.
Set up by
12,
a
9.
sharp Z serve that just sort of ate Sean up.
Short.
And he is not locating that serve right now, the first serve, that is.
Second serve.
He often goes to a hop here as well, but he seems to like this 3-wall.
Side out.
That was about the easiest shot he's had in this game.
9,
It's amazing he's had that miss and the other one, and
Short.
Sean just can't get points.
Second serve.
Well, if you're going to miss, you should do it when you're serving.
That's true.
What's happening here now? Sean with an underhand lob. I don't remember him hitting one of those last season.
Thought it might actually come off the back wall there, but 10-12. Like
10,
anything could happen.
12.
The way Sean has been serving it, that's a great serve.
Well, will Daniel rue that left-hand back wall air that would have given him 13?
And here's a chance. Too high. What a get. Sean looks absolutely out on his feet.
I was trying to give the shot, man. I thought he had a setup.
Sean's talking about a shot 3 or 4 shots ago.
I think
Side
he
out.
had to come around him at one stage to do one of those little palm shots, but
Full and a 30. A full and a 30. Timeout.
he's going to call a timeout. It's here he's wondering, I think, is it?
12-10 coming in.
No, it's not even that one, is it?
I think it was 3 shots before that. I had a feeling one of them was going to be upset after the rally ended, whoever didn't win the rally, because there was congestion there. But I think the referee letting them play there is the right play.
As most of them will tell you, well, if you rolled it out, you wouldn't be complaining.
It's true.
Although I don't even agree with that. No, I actually don't.
Let's see what
I
happens
think,
here. This is
like,
where Sean wants a hinder.
yeah, I think possibly a screen.
And not there, but the one before it.
Yeah, No, look at the referees. He's doing what's kind of probably in the rules. I gave you the shot.
Yeah.
That.
Well, also Sean's out of position there. He's sort of behind Daniel, and
But it's such an easy shot, though. It's not coming at any power. It's not like.
let's go to Karamak, who's courtside with Marco Chavez.
What was your thoughts on that last one there?
A little crowding, but the ref has been kind of letting us play through that. With Fink and I, he did kind of the same. So I think it's kind of fair. Just he just has to, understand that it's going to happen right now at this point.
And what are you witnessing out of this match? Any surprises?
Oh, well, Cordova's playing very well. Sean's kind of upset with the ball. I think the ball might be a little different from the normal ball, I guess, and maybe it's just not as bouncy, but I think maybe they're not both agreeing on switching the ball, so it's in Daniel's favor right now because it's mentally kind of getting in Sean's head.
These two pretty close. What do you think that brings to this match as far as emotions or not?
No, I mean, Sean would beat these guys all the time, the Cordova, so it's kind of, they're getting to his level now, and they are there, so let's just see, how this outcome becomes right now.
Let's do that. Thanks.
Sean goes to the pre-dive there and unable to keep the rally alive. Daniel now at 13, just 2 points from making his second race for 8 final. His first one was in New York, the last regular season stop of the year. So if he wins this, Martin, and I'm not sure what's happening here, this is not really legal, but if he wins this, be his second final in 3 stops, becoming a regular.
Who was the last final again? Sorry.
In New York in April.
Against Killian.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
how
did
did
not
that
make the final in Salt Lake City. He made the semifinal there.
Sean wants a change of ball, I think. I know yesterday he wasn't happy. The first 2 aces, I was 2-0 up, and he was saying, oh, they're out of tins that are cracked open. They've been open a while. He wanted one out of a new tin.
Yeah. And
you see
Sean is just upset about the ball. And I didn't even realize that until Marco Chavez said that.
That sounded down.
It didn't make it.
I thought it was good.
No.
Oh, no.
It wasn't.
So I couldn't hear you, Sean.
I thought it was good.
It's actually got, Dave was saying this earlier, it's got this little groove there, I think.
Well, maybe it was good there.
But someone told me yesterday, once you step up to play like that.
Well, that's unavoidable.
14-10.
Well, the point was given.
Yeah.
Wow.
Side out.
That's bad luck for Daniel.
Yeah.
I think
10,
most times
14.
that'd check up and you'd probably have a kill shot opportunity.
But Daniel returns the favor. Almost the same shot.
And here we are for probably a bit
14,
of handball
10.
history. Right corner, possibly.
Could have been avoidable.
Here it is. No.
Okay.
He's going for it. Oh, overcooked it.
Side out.
I thought he had 2 chances possibly for the right corner. Went for it on the third one, but it wasn't as easy as the other
10-14.
Sean will need to score at least 6 points to force a tiebreaker.
That's not going to help. A bit lackadaisical there from Daniel, I think.
Hold it.
I don't know. Sean actually is trying to get out of his way there. Neither player is looking for the avoidable.
10-14.
Set up here for Daniel.
Side out.
He converts. You hear Daniel clapping his hands together. I think this is going to be the moment, Martin.
It feels like it will be.
When you hear that hand
14,
slap.
10.
Sean was very slow getting up there. here. Good return.
Oh my gosh.
Point. Game and match.
I think we've made a bit of handball history today.
Incredible.
2 brothers to play tomorrow's final.
Daniel Cordova with a huge win, maybe the biggest win of his Race for 8 career. This is his second final in the last 3 Race for 8 stops. He'll be moving into that top 3 permanently now. Let's hear what he thinks about it. Kara.
Heading into that final, beating Lenning for it, it's got to feel good right now.
Really good, especially because I know my Pichon is on the other side.
Yeah.
Pichon means I beat him every time. The usual. I'm glad that we're both in the final. That felt good.
We talked about that a little bit earlier today, as far as if you guys meet up, it's going to be in the final. You're not even thinking about it at that point. Now just a couple hours later, yeah.
Yeah, it's a couple hours, but it was so far still. You know, we still had 2 rounds, so it's like it's not even near like my side. That's not what I'm thinking about. But heading into the final, there's no like avoiding it. I'm thinking, man, he already made it. I was kind of pumped because he played so well.
Yeah.
I was like, I got to play well.
You came out that first game just stomping, though, ready to roll. Was part of that Luis winning?
It's adrenaline, and it even, like, I was in the court, and my body was so ready, but my hands weren't warm yet, so I kept hitting balls, like, really hard. I'm like, oh, crap, like, I need to get my hands up to speed, you know, because my body, the adrenaline was just flowing, so I was ready. My legs, everything, I felt like I was just stretched and warm, but my hands weren't yet, so they hurt a little bit.
So first time here, how does this going to roll tonight? You live with your brother. What do you think is going to be happening?
I'm going to kick him out tonight. I'm going to tell his wife not to feed him. I'm going to pay his wife to put a little something in his food.
Coming as a parent, just tell those kids to wake them up in the middle of the night.
That's true. Yeah, I'm gonna tell something. I'm gonna keep the kids up all day, no naps, and they'll be up at night.
Well, good luck. We all look forward to it.
Thank you.
Yeah, back to you guys.
Thanks, Kara. And you see the just joy from Daniel Cordova there, who is going to be meeting his brother in the final. I mean, we haven't seen anything like this in sports since Venus and Serena meeting in Grand Slam finals, and that's what we have here. These guys are best friends. They're brothers. They live together, literally together in the same house. They work together.
It's incredible.
And now they're in the finals together, and they've really gone through the top 2 players on the tour to do it, and they did it in straight sets. Both of them dropping the number 1 and 2 players respectively in 2 games.
And they haven't had it easy. You know,
No.
they had tough first rounds. They've come through tough battles, but it's as you say, we haven't seen something like this in handball in a long, long time. It's going to be very interesting. Very hard to call.
Yeah, well, today was history in the making. Many, many records broken today and created. Killian Carroll, this is the first race event in 12 Race for 8 starts for him that he's not been in the final. Luis Cordova and Daniel Cordova playing one another, the first time brothers have ever played in a Race for 8 final. So
It's
a lot of,
it's a kind of a special moment too, I suppose, that you have.
and it couldn't happen in a better place. Atlanta here at their home club where they have so many fans, and you know, they really took advantage of their home court advantage, and they played sensational ball.
It's as simple as that. It'll be interesting, you know, to see 2 brothers go at it. It's kind of like they've made movies about this in recent years, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
We can't wait for it. We're going to be kicking off the coverage tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with the 9th place playoff, which you'll be in, then the 5th place playoff, and then at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, it'll be Cordova versus Cordova, Lucho versus Danos. It's going to be a great one. So we're going to take a break for just about 14 hours. My math might be off there, but we're going to be back at 10 a.m. Eastern Time tomorrow morning on ESPN 3 for Dave Fink, Martin Mulkerns, Chris Garrad, Linda Manning, Shay Lowenstein, Kara Mack, and all those helping with this broadcast. Thank you. See you tomorrow.